first, let's talk about what's hot now. Absolutely love DeVon Franklin on this show. He was on quite a few times last season. He and his wife, Meagan, are here to talk about their new book, The Wait. It's all about how delayed gratification can help a relationship. And by that, I mean no sex till you get married. Even though they had sex in previous relationships, they both decided to stay celibate until marriage, even before they met. They were already celibate. And we're going to talk to them about how they say that helped their relationship. But I wonder with you guys, could you wait till marriage? And looking at these four pathetic faces, I say no.
I told you, I didn't lose my virginity until I was 27 years old.
No,
so I did wait,
yeah.
and I was holding out, but things got rough.
But
27 no more.
I was on at one point last year with you. We were doing the topics, and I think this came up in some way, shape, or form, and you took him on that. Have you changed your mind about that?
I have, because you know what? First of all, him and his wife, I mean, Meagan is so gorgeous.
Yes,
and if you waited and got a woman like that, all of y'all will be tying yourselves down, okay? That's number one. But they're a beautiful couple, and they're a beautiful example. For me, I'm at a place now where I've been dealing with a lot of bums. And you know what? Honestly, ladies, it's the truth. And
why do you keep dealing with bums?
I'm not getting fulfilled, right? Because, ladies, we start giving ourselves to a man, and you give them your body because you think that's the most valuable thing, and you don't really connect in soul, and you're not really researching this guy and finding out what his goals are, what he believes in, because everything is so physical. And I like this idea of waiting and really getting to know someone, because a lot of times we let men into our soul and into our spirit that don't need to be there. There's a lot of demons you letting in here because you're not waiting.
Yeah, but you can get to know someone without having to sign a contract of marriage. Marriage is not a joke. When you sign a contract, I mean, it's not romantic at all. It's a piece of paper that, you divide everything, okay? So why do you have to wait to get married? You can find out about someone, take a long time, to sign that contract.
What are you saying, wait to have sex? Like,
yeah, wait to have sex. I think it's irresponsible not to figure out everything about a relationship before you sign that contract.
Like to find out if you're physically compatible.
Compatible, everything. I just think it's very irresponsible.
But it's making sex the focal point.
Is he saying
But why is it making sex a bad thing? It's making sex...
No, sex is not a bad thing.
Well, that's what it sounds like when you're saying wait for marriage.
But sex is such an amazing and great thing that you should do it with someone who deserves to have sex with you, not just anybody out there in the street. And that's what I've been doing.
Why do you have to have a piece of paper? Yeah, why do you have to have a piece of paper to have sex?
Listen, y'all married now, I'm not. Don't take that from me, okay? The marriage is all over here. This is what I'm doing. I'm chewing to marriage, slowly, but I'm chewing there.
So you say, can I ask you a question, though? I'm just listening to what you're saying.
Here we go. Get ready. Here she goes.
What you're telling us is, are you waiting now? Is today the day now you're waiting?
Now,
look at that face.
I asked DeVon and Meagan to pray for me, because it's tough. It's really, I'm just being honest, it's tough. I have an apartment by myself, and I, got a queen-size bed that needs, some warmth, but I'm praying about it. I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but I absolutely appreciate and I value what they've shown, because they're a great example. I love people who are a great example of what they preach.
And I love it.
Are we just? I'm so confused. I can't believe no one has asked this question yet. Okay, so I get that they're waiting to have intercourse.
Yes.
Okay, but lots of things happen before intercourse.
But
so they are physical, nothing below the waist.
Nothing below the waist.
That's what Meredith and I wanted to know.
Yes, nothing below the waist.
Nothing below the waist.
Nothing below the waist. Nothing.
That's an extreme situation.
Heavy petting.
Yeah, but they don't want to initiate that because that's just going to, that's too much
If you already go there, you're just going to round the bases.
Pressure for somebody. They're not trying to go right to the edge and then move back. They know that it's hard.
Okay.
Anyway, they're going to be on. I'm looking forward to that. You folks too? I'm looking forward to that.
Ask them those questions.
All right. Yes. How long should you wait to marry someone after you meet, okay? For one couple who randomly connected on Instagram, the answer was seconds after they actually met in person. Why would I lie to you? I'm not lying to you. And because this is 2016, a news crew was there to document the whole thing, of course. Take a look.
Don't drop me. It's nice to meet you. Artie pops the question.
weird.
Whoa, okay.
Weird.
Well, the couple quietly exchanged vows right in that airport. They're now legally married. They had known each other over Instagram for a year, but that was their first meeting in person, and you're going, it's weird.
Instagram is not real. What you project on Instagram, most of those people, probably I would say 80%, 90%, people don't put their real lives. It's all beautiful and rains
what do you
rose
put
petals
on
in
there,
there.
then?
No, mine's like, it makes my life look amazing sometimes.
yeah.
And so-
How is it any different than online dating?
But have they talked? They haven't talked.
Oh, no, I think they
had sent videos.
They
to
just
each other.
met on Instagram. They've communicated via text, via cell phone.
Megan does not know how Instagram works. That's number one.
Obviously
They
not.
met on Instagram, and then they just haven't physically
Would you marry
seen each other.
someone that quick?
I mean, I got engaged 9 months to the day after meeting my husband, and people thought that was really fast, and we've been together 8.5 years.
But you were
and
actually
married.
physically together.
Yes,
I mean,
but
you-
here's the thing. People will always judge, right? People are always going to say, oh, you need to be dating X amount of months before you get engaged. And then
There's no science.
There's no science to it. It's whatever works for a couple. And, like, if they want to be married and share their lives with each other and go through
That's
marriage,
fine.
go for it.
But again,
Have
I
fun.
go back to what I was saying. I think it's a little irresponsible until you figure out, is this the person for me? I need to physically know if I'm into you.
Live with them.
Give yourself a month
with
or
them.
something. But it's irresponsible to enter a contract. I mean, this is a contract with someone.
You make it sound so like.
But that's what it is. That's what we all fought for,
but
you
what
know,
about
because we need this
arranged
contract for
marriages?
taxes and all that kind of stuff.
Sounds like a business.
It is a business.
Marriage is not a
Look,
business.
there's a difference. Look, there is a difference between getting married for your Lord, for your God. That's completely different. And then a marriage contract, and for love, is completely different from just
Michael
getting
have to
a
sign a
contract.
W-9 or a W-2 before he has sex with you?
It's like a marriage license.
Yeah, but it wasn't didn't say all that stuff in it, did it?
But it's a contract.
I never read it.
Well, it's you signed a license to get
Right.
married. It has nothing to do with romance or anything like that. Your romance is your own thing. Your marriage, your wedding,
No, but
all
you're
that type of
making
stuff.
it sound so. It's a transactional.
But people need to understand
confused.
it. But people need to understand it is a business. It's a
But
it's a
that's how you
partnership.
think about it. You sign it because you have to by law.
Right.
You don't go in there and go, let's form this partnership, this business
like an
partnership.
But I bet you there's a lot of people out there that got married without a contract between people.
What's the
just married
NASDAQ
for the
on that?
Lord. Yeah,
What's the ticker symbol? They're making money off
but
it.
people need to understand that this is real. This is not a joke. When you get into something, you're stuck with these people, and sometimes give away half of their stuff.
They look great. She jumped in she didn't even know if he could carry her weight, and she jumped right on him. I wouldn't do that.
But those are the things you need to find out before you get into
See,
a
you know what?
marriage.
If that...
I know.
If that were my daughter Lily, I would haul her out of there fast and lock her up. I would not let her do that.
And then when she got over 30, you'd be pushing her out there on him. That's what my mother doing. Get up there and jump on his lap. You gotta get married.
All right.
Moving on. Empire star Jussie Smollett is on the March cover of Out magazine. A handsome guy. Inside, he reveals that although he is a gay man, he doesn't rule out the possibility of falling in love with a woman down the road. He says, I would hope that anybody would leave themselves open, not to gender, but to love.
I think it's a little bit more acceptable for women to be bisexual. I think men.
Why is that so sexist?
It's so sexist. But I think when we were talking about this, I'm like, I think people of this generation are very polyamorous. Am I saying this
it's
correct?
yes.
I love everyone, but I feel like this is kind of like on the down low. If you went with women and then had sex with men and then went back to women, I don't know.
happens all the time.
That's what I'm saying. It happens all the time. I would find this.
I think
shocking.
if he fell in love, he's obviously an incredibly attractive man. I mean, I don't know, I'm not single, but if I met somebody and we were in love with each other, everybody has a past. Is it better that he's been with like 200 women and then me? Like, what makes one worse than the other?
Would you be
I
with
think
someone
it's
if you'd been with a
but-
man? Would you be with someone if they had been with a man before?
I think it would depend. If I knew him as a gay man, and then I think if I knew him as a gay man, no, I'd probably rule him out. But if I met him just as a man and we fell in love and we loved each other and that was part of his past, I would accept that because I loved him.
You can't help
and
who you fall in love with. And these millennials, I mean, they really are fluid. I think half of them just want to be cool and say I'm fluid, but I think they really are just open to anything. Let's say Jussie he's 65 years old. He's been a gay man his whole entire life, and then all of a sudden, sex is kind of out of the equation for him, and he falls in love with his best girlfriend, and they just want to spend the rest of their lives together as partners.
So that's
is that the same
companionship.
thing?
But that's
yeah, but it's
companionship.
love,
That's friendship.
though.
Yeah.
But that's
That's a
him
friend,
falling
yeah.
in love with his best friend. So that's how I think they think of it.
But that kind of stuff happens all the time. You know how many gay men are married to me? I'm every gay man's best friend. That shit happens all the time.
But let me ask you, on a more serious note, people who are gay have long said, look, this is not a choice. because I would not have chosen this lifestyle. It's too difficult. This is the way I was born. So if you can go back and forth like that, then is he saying, yeah, I can choose to be gay or I can choose to be straight?
I think what he's saying is he can't choose who he's going to fall in love with the rest of his life. He's saying, I identify as a gay man, but maybe in my lifetime, I might fall in love with a girl because I can't choose that. I think that's what he's trying to say.
I think we're more accepting of women if they choose to be bi than men. So maybe this is more shocking to us because it's not commonly accepted.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, we're talking about it at least.